Lord, mercy. I couldn't do it.
The one time I really regret not having one through tonight, but with grandkids, I don't have one with the butt seat. Of course, they're right in the beginning, it's a little extra safe.
Yeah. The buddy thing, that's what my grandson right now runs. And now he's got where he can actually run the bike, which is great. Of course, I seen one the other day that, they were down where it tells the track what it's connected to 5 holes there.
I know, right? No, really, you get a roll. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Madison County Board of Commissioners regular business meeting agenda, July 31st, 2023 at 6 p.m. Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Gentlemen, in front of you have the minutes for approval from June 26, 2023 budget work session, minutes from June 26 regular business meeting, minutes from July 7th board retreat, minutes from July 10th board work session, minutes from July 10th agenda setting work session, minutes from July 17th budget work session, and minutes from July 18th, 2023 board retreat. I ask you to look over those. If you see no discrepancies, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second motion.
Motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Dennis?
Yes.
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 Thank you. I apologize, we have a lot going on tonight. I'm about to get caught up on. Business involving guest groups or multiple visitors. We have a proclamation for Ian Heath, UGA Extension Office. Shauna Riddle is in attendance. Coordinator Travis Tankersley, agent, is in attendance. All right. Whereas Georgia FFA members have the opportunity to serve in the many leadership positions on the chapter, area, state, and national level. The state FFA officers are elected at the state FFA convention each year. And whereas this young man's achievements is the first of Madison County FFA member to serve as the president for the State of Georgia FFA Association, and whereas Ian Heath has served as a 2022 area to the president and Georgia National Fairground Ambassador, and whereas willingness to accept responsibilities, sincere desire to work with all chapter members in meeting their leadership, personal and chapter goals, have a committed to lead by example. And whereas demonstrating effective leadership responsibilities will be challenging, Ian Heath shines a positive light to lead and serve over 80,000 members that represent 384 chapters across Georgia. Wow. Whereas Ian Heath exemplifies the FFA motto, learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve. And whereas Ian Heath has been elected as a 2023-24 State of Georgia President. Gentlemen, I'd ask for a motion to accept this proclamation on behalf of Ian Heath.
Mr. Chairman, I move this proclamation be approved by the board.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Chandler, second by Commissioner Kirk. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Madison County Board of Commissioners congratulates and recognizes Ian Heath from the Georgia 2023-24 State President of the Georgia FFA Association. So resolved by the Madison County Board of Commissioners on this 31st day of July 2023. Young man, please come forward.
Congratulations. Thank you all. Proud of you. Great job. Thanks, sir.
Shauna, would you like to join us?
Thank you.
Travis? Take a couple of steps back right here and let everybody get in a circle. Good job, son.
Thank you.
That's a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of work.
I'm slowly figuring out that it's more and more people than I ever thought it was.
That's fine.
Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Step up front. Hey, maybe we could.
There you go. You're good right there.
You're good behind me.
This is not gonna work in the newspaper. Come on.
There you go. Christina.
No,
Stay there, it's just everybody needs to tie it off.
yeah, there you go, now y'all call it.
Break it hard.
No, make it work.
Are you good?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Good job.
You want to get one with just you three? I mean, y'all want to, surely we're the president.
That's good. That's 4 acres.
Oh,
We're okay.
all right.
They're related.
They know each other. Now, there's two different ones.
That's easy.
Okay. Extension Officer Shauna Reynolds, Coordinator Travis Tankers.
Thank you very much. So, I've had the pleasure to meet a couple of you, but for those that I have not, I'm Shannon Reynolds. I'm the Acting County Coordinator for your local UGA Extension Office. I've been serving in that role since Carol left, went to another role at the university January 1st. And it has been a pleasure, but I am thrilled to tell you guys that we have hired you a new Ag Extension Agent, Travis Tankersley. So Travis, you want to come on up? And he will also be taking over coordinator responsibilities starting September 1st. And I'll just serve as a mentor to him as needed. So go ahead and let them know what you've been up to. And then also we have Susan Goldman, our 4-H agent here, who will share with you.
Hello, Travis Tankersley, the new ag agent, and will be the new coordinator September 1st. Don't have a whole lot of an update. Been doing a lot of trainings. The next 3 months are full. I'm excited to get to know everybody, serve this community that I've grown up in, and just get after it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I guess one of the great things that we can say about Travis, not only has he hit the ground running with livestock showers and many, many other things in the office, of course, but he's Madico grown. He was a whole Stanford elementary student and then came up through our ranks and also was involved in 4-H and FFA. So we're proud of that fact. With Madison County 4-H, we've had a fantastic school year for the 2022-2023 year. We are extremely proud that our horse quiz bowl team that got first at state competed at nationals, and they made it in the top 3 out of all the students that were competing at this national level. So we were really, really proud of that. And we also had our horse drill team, the equestrian drill team, make it into the top 3. So I guess we're doing pretty well as far as horses are concerned. We had a lot of kids participating in horse shows and other horse activities, including horse judging, hippology, and the horse quiz bowl. We had 4 teams: livestock judging, poultry judging, a horse drill team, and consumer judging make it into the top 3 for district or state levels, so we were really proud of that. We were also really proud that we had over 35 students participate in Project Achievement, where they prepare a demonstration, and some of those students prepare a portfolio too. They go and they speak in front of a group of people, much like what we're doing today, but many times accompanied by a PowerPoint. Not only did we have many winners with those participants, but we also had 2 advanced to state on the senior level, and one of those 2 just recently made it in the top 3 for that, so we were really proud of that. I will tell you, Ian, that in the room we have Christopher Roach, who was state 4-H president. So I knew he was probably thinking that when you were announced as state FFA president. But as we go on, we need to recognize that we had 6 students participate in state ambassador training. We also had district officers that have participated in district officer training and camps, and we had loads of local and county club officers that were elected and participated in trainings for that as well, so we were really, really proud of them. We've been busy with our Project Safe teams. Many of you have been associated with those teams in the past as well. We had our archery team do very well this year. Many of the 4-H'ers placed first individually at the indoor match, and they did very well at the state match as well. And then all of our teams, shotgun, archery, and also our BB teams placed in the top 3 for district and state events. Now you're probably thinking, well, is that all you do is competitions and 4-H? But no, definitely not all we do. We do club meetings monthly with the school. Many times we're in the classroom for that. We also do summer activities. In fact, tomorrow I'm taking a group of about 12 or 13 4-H'ers to Helen to make their last hoorah with tubing and going down a roller coaster and many other things in Helen. We've also got loads of change maker hours and tech wizard hours that the kids have built up through a statewide effort that we've been doing with that, training not only adults but also youth as well in technology. But we sure do appreciate not only the support that we have from you all, but also the Board of Education and also our local donors. Without them, we could not do all that we do. So thank y'all so much for allowing us your time, your money, and the efforts that you put forth towards us with our building and many other different things that we have, because we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Chairman's report. MOAS, Madison Oglethorpe Animal Shelter's 4th annual Putts for Musk golf tournament benefit will be held August 26th at Victoria Bryant State Park. Please contact MOAS to register your team. Food Bank mid-year report is attached. So for the year 2023 through July 1st, we've assisted 203 families, 537 individuals, 23,500 pounds of food, and our busiest months are ahead. We have 2 new volunteers, Rosie on Wednesdays and Jackie on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 4. The Christmas program will start October 23rd on Monday. And thank you for all your support, Ms. Bobby Rooker. So, food donations, it looks like there's $16,102. My page is cut off.
Yeah, the next one's non-food with a $4,055.93, and then clothing and et cetera at $32,016.15.
And if those numbers don't make a testament to the people of Madison County and what they do for others in need and the the job that Miss Bobby Rooker does, nothing will. She is phenomenal. The people of Madison County are phenomenal, and these numbers show that. Very proud of our food bank. Courthouse Division Security Quarterly Report. And I'm just going to do the year to date. 35,079 people come through the front doors of this courthouse. This excludes employees because they do not use the front door, they use side doors. I think last year was 60,000 people through the front door. So this is all halfway point. We service a lot of court systems and a lot of interactions with the public, and I think we do it very well. Scott does a great job keeping us safe under the operation of Sheriff Michael Moore. A couple of notables, our road crews, through the recent storms we've had, almost 2 weeks in a row of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday nights, have been out at all hours of the night. This past weekend, we had crews all the way through Sunday morning, cutting up trees. Public safety is an issue. Our guys never waver to come out in the middle of the night with a chainsaw to keep your road safe for you. But there's one more important person and department that I need to recognize, and that is our 911 operators. I was told that there was 260 calls coming in within a 30-minute period to our 911 operators. The two young ladies handling those calls, because I think they were after midnight, I've heard it from meeting people at restaurants and just coming up to me saying, hats off, we have scanners, we were listening, whatever, and they just done a phenomenal job. So to our 911 operators, thank you very much for what you do. That's all I have for Chairman's report. Statements and remarks from citizens on tonight's agenda. Boy, y'all quiet. All right. We will now close the regular business meeting and open the special session of the public hearing to consider amending the zoning ordinance, section 7.2, 7.3, use provisions by district chart. Christopher, are you doing this, or Mike?
Either or.
Come on.
Thanks, Mike.
Should I say council?
Council.
Life's fine. Been called much worse.
Tonight? What you have before you are 3 edits. It's really housekeeping typographical updates is all it is. When we were reviewing the A1, A2, ARs, this one little slip came up through there that should have been put into a business zone, not an ag zone.
So it's just a cleanup of clerical.
Yes, sir. And to make sure the chart is accurate, since a lot of people go straight to the chart. If we change it in the meat, change it on our chart.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome, sir.
Anything else, gentlemen, on this before we move on? Any public comment on this item? All right, hearing none. All right, do we need to vote on this tonight?
Yes.
All right. Gentlemen, I entertain a motion to approve the changes.
Move these changes be approved as presented to us.
Motion by Commissioner Chandler, second by Commissioner May. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, Commissioner May.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. The ever popular 2023 mill rate up next, gentlemen. So we had a first public hearing this morning at 9 a.m. A couple of you were in attendance, and we discussed where we're at and where we're going. Tonight is not the night for the vote. That'll be August 7th at 6 p.m. Christina?
Yes.
With that being said, I really don't know how much of this you want to go over. If there's any questions by the board, everybody has the scenarios in front of them of what the millage rate looks like. To keep from going into too much detail right now, because I think this will be probably the meeting for the third meeting to get into the weeds of the mill rate. The county is looking at doing a rollback on the mill rate. We all have seen, and we all have suffered through, the assessments and the inflation that we live in today. I will disagree with the United States government when they said we have only had a 9% increase of inflation, because my math says we've doubled a loaf of bread and we've doubled a gallon of gas, so that's not 9%. So I just want the public to know that we are doing our very best at being as low as we possibly can. We also have tonight the budget for 2023. Just for each of you's information, the budget has been went over all 2,000 lines. Individually has been looked at by 5 different people on multiple occasions. There is no fat left to trim. It is trimmed. The dollar figure that we will inevitably vote on August 7th will be a dollar figure to do business, not a dollar figure to produce a profit. We all understand, as everybody sitting at this table, we all pay taxes too. We feel your pain. I know I do. We have took into consideration every aspect. I will say that there is a situation out there that the state has a minimum threshold that they encourage you not to go below before you lose your electric companies and any corporate rates, corporate utilities, I guess is the word I'm looking for, utility rates. And it's just the way. With that being said, we will probably surpass that because it's beneficial to our county's individual taxpayers more so than it is for the utility services. We did this last year, and we will also be trying to do that again this year. The Board of Commissioners has now, as of 5:55 today, been presented with 4 scenarios, and each of the 4 are less than it was last year. I say that, let me take that back. Each are less than what was presented to you on your assessed notice that was mailed to you, because everybody knew that the assessed value was last year's mill rate versus this year's appraisal. So with that being said, we are working with numbers below that. Something I brought in with me just as a heads up, our current mill rate for 2022 is 27.5, and this is county, city, school board, IDA, everybody looking at it across the board. And that is projectedly 3 to 4 mills lower than it's been since 2009. Our county collects less tax to our property owners than we've ever collected in the past 15 years. I'll say that. In 15 years, we're collecting the less amount. And we expect it to be a little less than this again this year. We're still looking at dropping it. So if there's any questions, comments, I don't necessarily have a spot in here for that, but I think I will take any. Because some of you asked some questions this morning, I'd like to give the room an opportunity today to ask any questions while we're here. So with that being said, is there any questions or comments on the mill rate before we start? Everybody feels comfortable? Come on.
Another thing we talked about this morning, was Governor Kemp signed into law a homestead tax relief grant. That's going to be a assessment credit for anyone that had a homestead tax exemption as of April of this year. They're not sure how that's going to look on your tax bill. It's going to be an $18,000 assessment deduction or a roughly $500 credit on your tax bill. So we're still trying to figure that out from the Department of Revenue, but that will be applied to about over 6,000 Madison County property owners.
Those are parcels that has been registered for homestead exemption. So if you do not have your home registered,
Prior to.
Prior to. So you can't run in there tomorrow and do it, but it is wise to have your property under an exemption. I think that's about a $2,000 on just general years, a $2,000 correct, Terry?
That's correct.
Yeah, it's what your exemption gives you off your assessed value. Right now, that don't sound like a lot, but in my pocket, a dime is everything. So, yes, ma'am.
Do you only have to do that once, or do you have to?
You actually,
Just one time.
Mm-hmm.
What you've applied for, it stays there.
So just for things to keep, for you all in mind, that we are currently at a rate of, get my other sheet here, I lost it.
You can look right here on your big screen. This is called a 5-year tax history, and it's actually published in the local newspaper. So this whole section is the unincorporated, and this is all incorporated. So you do your rollbacks here. This is a rollback that the board doesn't get a say so on. This is your insurance premium tax and your local option sales tax. That comes off top. So this will be this 11.092 was last year's, and the board's potentially looking at a 9.77. And then here it is for the incorporated was 11.499 and looking at a 10.928. The difference in those two, according to the tax commissioner's office, is when you have new growth and new development in different areas, it affects those unincorporated and incorporated assessed values differently. So there was a lot more growth in the unincorporated area of the county, so that assessed value increased more than at a higher rate than the incorporated. So that's what you'll see that difference is there.
You can probably roll that screen back around for this side of the room because it's small. We all have it in front of us. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Can you give me a few more examples of what the incorporated might look like?
The incorporated means all of your cities. So if you live within inside of a city limit, that's what incorporated is.
So would there be a potential that the city would have a property tax millage different?
So each city collects their own millage rate, and that gets added on top of the county's millage rate. So each city goes through the same process and has the same opportunity to do a rollback. So when they do their budget, they'll see what revenue they need, and they'll roll back their millage rate according to what revenue is needed. But we don't know what theirs are. We don't have that information.
Only one we've heard about so far is Commerce, and that's not till August. Right around yours, I think, like the summer or something to do in theirs.
Which one's that for?
Comer, I think, is the only one we've heard so far.
So for the first time that I can recall, we are getting this budget approved prior to adopting our mill rate. It normally runs much later than that. It's really hard to do when you're running 6 months prior because you're forecasting the next 6 months. We will be potentially looking at coming off a calendar year and going to a physical year in the near future. But as of right now, this is what we're working with. Now, this morning the discussion was made, just for the ones of you that wasn't here, is understanding your tax bill. The county mails out the tax bill that has not only the IDBA rate, but it also has the Board of Education rate. That's part of it. We just collect the tax, but we do not set the Board of Education's mill rate, nor do we set the IDBA mill rate, nor do we set the city mill rate. So the portion that you want to look about, what we're here tonight about, would be just the county portion. The school board right now, they run about 54 cents off the dollar. The county runs about 46 to 45, probably 45 actually, because the IDBA gets 1 meal. So just so you understand your tax bill, when you open it, you get that sticker shock at the bottom. What I like to zero, it's not all county government money. It's dispersed amongst other priorities that we do not have an opportunity to set for them. So with that saying, looking back at the sheet that I have in 2018, I'm looking at the one that has the option 1, 2, and 3 on it, Susan. We were at a 16.7 operational mill rate, and today we are at 12.83. So we've dropped 4 mills, and a mill is equal to about $1 million. So we're requesting $4 million roughly from 2018 to now than what we've been producing.
Ma'am, can I have your name?
My name is Paige Cason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That number came from the unincorporated. The incorporated rate at the time was 16.76, and today we're at 13.69. So projectedly, we would like to be somewhere around, this is not voted on, okay? Please don't hold me to it. but we would like to be somewhere around the neighborhood of, let me get my other sheet. I've lost a sheet somewhere.
13.15.
Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. No, I still lost a sheet. Where's that sheet I handed you?
Well, 4243.
I would like to be somewhere, yes, 13.15,
Okay.
which last year was 13.69. So still doing a rollback on the taxes. We're still trying to go downhill. Now, the cautionary period for not only my office, the Board of Commissioners, but the Finance Department is when we continually roll the mill rate back. At some point, the assessed values will come down, the mill rate will have to come back up to equalize. Right now, we're lopsided because of the inflation. But the expenditures really never change. Right now, they just increase about honestly, this year, our expenses probably went up about 13%. But we were able to cover that. And this year, we're projecting roughly the same thing. So at some point, if we continue to dip the mill rate and bring down the property taxes, when the values of your home come down, we're going to have to go back up on the mill rate. And I stressed this last year. When we get this mill rate low, as soon as the economy goes south, we have to go back up. I don't want anybody in sticker shock saying, oh my God, y'all increased it when we're going into a recession. Well, our expenditures don't change. So just so everybody knows that we are not in business to make money. We do not take any money and set it aside for a rainy day other than what's mandated by the state for us to have in reserves, which is 3 months operating capital. So I hope I've answered any questions for anybody, or I may have generated one, I don't know, but I hope I've made that as clear as I possibly can as to where we are today and how we got there and where we're going tomorrow.
And if you're interested in the Board of Education's discussion like this, I think there's one tomorrow morning and tomorrow night as well.
No, you just have there. Stay at one.
Okay. So, is there any other questions? Board, I think, do we need to move on, or was there anything discussion points that I may not have answered for you all? Okay.
Just still the information we talked about this morning, the total budget.
It should be in your packet. You received it today. I know you have not had time to go over it, but it's all there. And I think there's an email version out also.
Yeah. I emailed it out, yeah.
August 7th, 6 p.m., I'll make a motion at that point to adopt one of these 4 scenarios. To be perfectly honest, I'm proud of the people of Madison County that's not crucifying us. Because look at our counties around us. One of the things about Madison County that's unique, in speaking with the tax assessor, is we are below where we're supposed to be on assessed values, believe it or not. I know my home, they think it's worth $400. I wouldn't give more than $200 for it, personally. But according to the state of Georgia, we're actually low. They actually want us to increase it. So that's why we're taking a hit on the utility side, because we're disagreeing with them. And it's all to protect. When I say you all, I mean all of us. All right, no other discussion on the 2023 mill rate. We will close the public hearing, reopen the business meeting, and discuss old business. Have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Chandler. Second by Commissioner Kurt. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Brian, something?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. We will reopen the regular business meeting to consider approving amendments to the travel policy. Sorry, y'all. All right. think, Susan, I think you've done a great job putting this together. I know Christina's looked over it, Mike's looked over it. I think you've given us your blessing, sir, on the travel policy.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of changes been made, but they were very much so needed to be made. I think we now have something that we can work with. These were all given at the work session.
Yes, it was, and the recommended changes, me and Mike worked together on those. Specifically, I mean, we talked about your question, and we both determined that the way the ordinance is written, that gives that discretion to the finance director.
Make a motion to approve the updated policy.
Second motion, thank you all for all the work you put into it.
Have a motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none?
Yes.
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 Thank you. And I know we've sort of got not quite a room full of people, but we've got a good many people here. You ought to see this working process. I would love if any one of you all pick one of these up and look at all the highlighted red pages. These are all brand new from what we had before. So a lot of work goes into this. I have a great team of people, y'all.
I
Great.
actually recommended this one to another client of mine the other day that was discussing the travel expense policy.
We get royalties on that, right?
Yeah, that's right. We should. Susan and Christina do, you know.
I think that's the first thing.
All right. The consent agenda, item number 10, consider approving the 2024 food bank budget, consider approving the 2024 law library special reserve fund, consider approving the 2024 clerk deed special revenue fund, consider approving the 2024 sheriff's office state seizure budget, consider approving the 2024 jail commissary commission budget, consider approving the 2024 sheriff's office donation budget. They're all listed before you. Item 10.
Move that all be approved as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Chandler, second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion, gentlemen?
There is not a problem voting on it for one time. No problem.
You're voting on the agenda itself. So good job. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That's efficient government, man. That's efficient government.
We have all talked about it a lot.
Wasn't you here?
All right, new business. Consider approving the American Rescue Plan Act expenditures for 2023 emergency personnel wages. So, before anybody reads this wrong in the newspaper, this is a reimbursement of the county expenditures for our emergency services. I don't want nobody at the jail to read it or EMS thinking, wait a minute, y'all are giving us a new raise? No. We're reimbursing ourselves for what we already paid. So, with that being said, first off, is there any questions, gentlemen, on that? You might be able to answer. To be honest, this is more of a budgetary process than anything else. All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Kirk. Second by Commissioner May. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none?
The documentation that we got, the auditors.
Yes.
Good. Okay. I'm good.
Any other discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Consider approving the 2024 capital project list. A couple changes They're changed on here, huh?
This is the capital project, this is from the retreat.
Gotcha. Never
That's the
mind.
next one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can't do it alone. She's awesome.
This is just the list 1 through 4. There's no dollar figures that the board is voting on, and there's no allocation of funds. It is just kind of a conclusion from the retreat, what the board come out of the retreat agreeing to. This is their official vote on those 5 projects.
Priority list, essentially.
Yes, sir.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the 2024 capital project list, gentlemen.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion, gentlemen?
It's accurate and reflects the conversations we had, including the real identity.
Yes, sir. Any other discussion? Commissioner May?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, gentlemen. Consider approving the 2024 capital outlay budget. Should 13 and 14 be combined, or do they need to be separated?
It does,
I think we can discuss 13 and then vote on 14.
it just be cleaner having separated.
Okay.
With the board for 13, they're not allocating the funds, they're just approving the actual purchases that are listed.
All right.
The list itself, and then that number, that total is in the proposed 2024 budget. So then they'll approve, that's where they'll allocate their funds.
On the top line of the rec department, that is a different, one of them was scratched off. That is the different one. That's the one that works with the dresser. It was the attachment for the dresser. There was a question that Terry asked prior to.
This one is different than the final one that I sent this afternoon, because we added some things. Do y'all need a copy of it?
Were you talking about the 2 items?
Well, I mean, if you go inside the budget, you can actually see them here,
Okay.
but I had done a new detail, because it added the master plan and,
So it's just 2 items that's missing off here.
Master plan's the first one listed.
well, let's see. Seems like there was, I think it's 3 items.
It's 150. It was the other plan.
That's the site improvement? No, that 150 is put under the other department.
Yeah, the 250 is under a different department, but there was something else that we added when you and I sit together.
Planning and,
It looks like it's 2 vehicles.
no.
Maybe it's the vehicles.
There was a $150 figure and a $100 figure. We had set 100,000. The 100,000 was for a planner. The reason we added that is because we don't know between now and sometime in 2024, if the county chooses to hire a planner, we wanted to be budgeted for it. The other 150 is, one of these are a master plan for the rec department, and the other is, we talked about it Friday with the lady from P&Z here. And we was talking about a plan that's gonna cost about $150 for that. Do you remember what the name of that plan was? It's not on here. But we got it on the other.
It was the road department, that 200,000, that road department.
Okay.
That was different.
Yeah, so, under capital outlay, we budgeted 200,000 for equipment at the road department because we are bulldozer short right now. And we just put it in there because we are talking about 18 months. We're talking about between now and the end of 2024. We figured we need to put it in there as a safety net, worst case scenario, because of how the capital outlay project will be paid for. We need to throw that number into the equation. The other was the planner was put under the department, under wages and salary.
Yeah. The 250 was under the actual planning and zoning department.
All right, y'all talking in circles, because I can give me a new sheet or tell me what to add and where to add.
The only thing that they added was $200,000 for equipment at the road department.
At the road department.
At the road department.
200,000.
Yes.
Yes.
That makes it 1,561,000.
It'll make that total
Yes.
1.561,331.
Okay, correct.
So 1,561,300.
That's the only change.
And that is in the actual, the proposed budget. And it is listed as equipment. Correct, yeah.
In your email that went out today, you'll have a copy of the revised capital.
Okay. But if we're voting on this, I want to make sure it's right.
And it's specifically for heavy equipment. When
It
you
is.
Say road
Yeah.
department, I
No.
don't want it,
No,
I'm trying to clearly understand.
Heavy
what-
equipment.
Then it ain't going for new trucks or
No, sir.
no.
party favors, just the heavy equipment.
This is bulldozers.
If you find for $200,000. Can't get us a discount? Huh? You can't get us a discount. That'd be a pretty hefty discount on it. Even the D5 or 6.
That's a big buy. Well, it won't be just one, don't get me wrong, it's multiply.
New list.
I'm fine, you know, I just, the ground robber was.
I apologize, it's been a round robin every day, all the way till completely quitting time, and then we make adjustments after quitting time. We might have, I'm happy that we're doing it early, but it did put us all in crunch.
How many bulldozers on that one?
I can't hear you.
How many bulldozers is that gonna buy? You don't
Well,
know.
you bought a new one, depends on buying used or what you buy.
Yeah.
We're gonna potentially look at three heavy equipment pieces for the road department. And they will they will be used.
Yeah. You couldn't buy a new bulldozer for $200,000 if you tried right now. Not from anybody. Not big enough to do what the county needs to do. Yeah, so.
But all these are listed in the budget itself,
They are.
Yes.
so it's
Yes.
gonna need to,
It's just
All
broken
these are
information.
Yeah.
It's just that.
all right, so no action item on that. Do you need an action on this?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
No, because once we do the 24 budget, it's already covers it.
okay. I just know on specific, you have detailed expenditures that are over 100,000, the board has to approve them, so. But none of, depending on how they're broken up, none of these may go over 100, so.
Correct.
So is it better if we approve it though?
The only one that'll go over 100,000 is the senior center.
Let's just, let's vote.
Yeah, let's just
Let's go ahead and vote on it, and then just put the rest, and
Right.
then we can proceed. As the funding is transferred here and there, we won't be talking about this 3 to 4 months from now. That's right.
That's the way I understand. If you vote tonight, I think that's right.
Won't be waiting on it.
Locks in the capital component.
That's right.
And allow the chairman to go ahead and make purchases when he finds the best price without bringing it back.
And then you'll advise us of what.
Absolutely.
Right.
I won't be good today.
I will let y'all know, July 1st, Ford F-150s went up $8,000 from what it was, June 31st. Because they got their 24 trucks in, and they went up $8,000. So, just so you know. But we're equated for it, we're good. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the capital outlay budget.
Make a motion that we approve the capital outlay budget, including the $200,000 that we discussed here this evening, that would specifically go for the purchase of heavy equipment for the road department.
Perfect, do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Kirk. Any other discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Consider approving the 2024 Madison County budget and budget resolution. I gotta read this, Mike?
No, you don't have to read it.
It's been Monday, y'all.
So this is the last,
That's the last
that
draft.
version.
Yeah, that's the last draft.
It better be, Brian.
So the proposed total expenditures is 25,204,977. Correct. All right. So if anybody wants to know what the budget is for Madison County, it's 25,204,977. And you can ask some of the counties around what theirs are, and you will find out that we do pretty well having a budget like this and providing the stuff we do. And then you ask about what the taxes they're paying, what their budgets are. Just look around.
We'll take that as a compliment, Brian. Thank you very much.
That's what I'm saying. It is a compliment. I mean,
It sounds like a large number, but I'll be honest with you, ambulances, we were made aware of this week. We had 2 that we ordered 3 years ago. They're gonna be coming in August. We questioned the price to order 2 more, because they don't have a lifespan but about 6 years. Sorry, they don't. The ones we bought 3 years ago was $247,000 a piece. The new ones are projected to be $290,000 a piece, and there's a 36-month wait. That was the information that was told to me on Friday. For everybody, just to know where your money goes. Fire trucks that were $600,000 2 years ago are now $1 million. So that was one of the statements I wanted to make in my chairman's report, but I can do it in the road updates. I'll just go ahead and do it now. When we have $1 million fire truck and a $300,000 ambulance, and you live on a driveway that's overgrown and you can't get nothing down it but a Volkswagen, expect delays, because we're not going to tear up that equipment, because it's unfair that you don't keep up your driveway and we tear up our vehicles. They're too expensive. We just ask you to please maintain your driveways, because we want to save your life, but we don't want to tear up a $500,000 vehicle doing it.
Well, I personally believe that time is of the essence in placing orders for these items, because as we enter into the next election cycle, we're gonna find that there'll be a slight lull very early in the spring. Then once it's determined which way the election's gonna go, prices are gonna jump. That's the way it is.
Susan, we looked prior to this meeting today, that our overall budget had an increase of
About 11 to 12%.
that was with the capital outlay.
With the capital outlay.
So without the capital outlay put in it, because that's a different ballgame. But on the average taxpayer, because the capital outlay is different, it's not coming out of complicated. We had about a 6.5% increase over 23 for 24.
Operational.
Huh?
Operational.
The operation.
Operation.
6% increase, knowing everything out there has went up 25 and 30%. That's why I give hats off to Susan, Christina, the board, Robin, Lamar, Dalton, all the guys and people that's put this thing together and been able to keep this number at roughly 6% increase. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. And that's what I'm getting at. I think for what we provide for Madison County, that budget is, as Todd already said, it doesn't have any fat in there. And if we can, our biggest problem now is just hiring folks to keep things running. So, that's it.
Before we ask for a motion to approve this budget, I would offer an invitation to anybody in this county that wanted to sit down with me and go line by line over the budget. I will discuss it with you till I'm blue in the face. I'm putting that out there for an open invitation. You got a question about the budget, come talk to me. I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you, and I'll show you what it looks like. And I think you'll leave very proud proud as I am about adopting this tonight. I'll entertain a motion, sir.
I make a motion that the budget in the amount of $25,204,977 be approved for the 2024 budget.
Right? Okay. I have a motion by Commissioner Adams, second by Commissioner Kirk. Any discussion, gentlemen?
If we make the, we'll make the final vote, does it need to be notation anywhere that we have decided we're going to review all those contracts that we have for co-op funding? Just let me know that.
I thought it's just regular budget adjustments.
So what we done was we budgeted for all the different contract services out there. There's way more than just a library. There's Department of Health, there's DFACS, there's all these others. The money's there, but we have not signed a contract agreed to expend it. Until we go over those contracts and agree to the contracts, for budget purposes, we went ahead and put the money in the budget. And that is a worst-case scenario. Several of you for the newspaper, be prepared to come before the Board of Commissioners with a contract, well-written and vetted by the county attorney. Yes, sir, to answer your question.
Yeah. That's why we had to vote separately on 13, because you actually authorized those purchases, approving the budget and authorized the purchases.
Right. All right, any other discussion, gentlemen, on the 2024 budget? Hearing none, Commissioner Adams?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Praise Jesus.
Amen.
Y'all can't have this much fun in any other Board of Commissioners meeting, come on now. All right, road updates. Lim Edwards, culvert installation has been pushed back to August 7th. And what I mean by culverts is these are the box culverts into the creek areas. And the reason they've been pushed back to August 7th is the place that we order them from are running behind. We are not expected to get those until possibly Monday or Tuesday next week. They were just pouring them today.
Yep, they're pouring the culverts today. They should come in Friday. Hopefully they're going to be delivered Friday.
We will give plenty of notice to every homeowner through a 911 report and a notice to EMS. These are at 2 creek locations. So you'll have an alternate route. The road will never be closed permanently. You'll have an alternate route to go one way or the other. But expect some delays. We will also communicate with the Board of Education on where that particular closure is at what address. Fall T-Splash paving projects to begin in the middle of August. I know everybody's anxiously awaiting when the start date is. Middle of August, we are starting to bring in some of the asphalt material at 2 different locations, because the way we're doing it this year, we're storing this stuff on site. We buy at a cheaper price. This will run through October. Old Royston Road should be completed this week, permitting the weather. Weather has been a plague to us now for close to 6 weeks. It has slowed down Lim Edwards. I would tell you that Lim Edwards is 80% stumped, and we are proceeding as soon as we get some fiber relocations done. That was through AT&T, very complicated there. So we tried not to interrupt anybody's service. So that's put us a little bit behind also. But if you get an opportunity, you want to see what a road looks like being built, right over Royston Road.
Yeah.
That's going from an 8-foot dirt road to a 22-foot dirt road.
I drove
you can see it in all 3 stages.
I drove through there earlier, and my compliments to the road department. They did a good job on that. Yep. If you want to see a good road, go look at the old Royston Road. It was really probably one of the worst roads in the county.
At one point, it was in one particular area, that road was 7 foot wide because there was 2 massive oak trees. The school bus had to almost stop to get the mirrors between those 2 trees. And these trees were something that me and 2 more could not reach around. They were huge. But it is a nice road now. It is a dirt road. It is not going to be paved. It is what we call the gravel superhighways, along with some of the other roads in the county. The ultimate goal is to have them all looking like that, but, anyway. Statements and remarks from citizens on tonight's agenda. Everybody happy? All right, I love it. Statements and remarks from commissioners. Everybody happy? All right.
I had a call from, Kingston Greens.
Oh, yeah.
Storm drain pipes blocked up, need to be cleaned, whatnot. And I need confirmation that before we replaced that culvert last year, Christmas time, is that patchwork and repaving on this go round?
It is.
Okay.
Just like, Holman Archer Road, we normally try to let them wait 6 months. We'll go out and do a push test on it, the road moves, we don't touch it until the compaction's right. Even though with a packer, it still don't get right. But Kingston Greens is one of them. Anywhere you saw we've dug up the road, and it's been longer than 6 months that we dug it up, it will be paved in August.
On the road, where they patched that, we need to touch it up, because I don't know when it's gonna be paved, and right there at the bottom of the hill, the curb and gutter, is it a potential to begin undermining the work that we've already done if we don't touch it up? Just lay some more JP on top of it, when peel it back when it's time to get paved.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else on the roads? Anybody have anything? I know most of you guys call them directly, and that's good. If there's anything I can touch base on, oh, good. What it is.
That Crystal Creek thing that we talked about on Friday.
We dealt with that again today. So,
Well, it looks, I rode through there Friday evening, and the paving company has spray painted a big line that says ACC this time, and I think that's.
so there was a miscommunication somewhere with ACC. So we agreed for them to go ahead and finish that 0.2 of a mile. And somewhere, somebody was off that day and forgot to relay the message. They called me and said, hey, do you want to do it while we're here? And I said, absolutely. I sent that back in email confirmation, and then that guy was off. He didn't tell me. But then there was more discussion this morning about now they're going to go back and look at doing it. They went ahead and moved off-site to do another road that they are willing to come back and finish it for us. So it's not over. Even though it looks like it's done, it's not done. Pittman, I think, is the one that got the award on that. They actually did crack seal about a quarter of a mile of one lane before they realized it was in the wrong county. So got that. I wish they'd turn around and come back and then remember, but that's okay. Urgent matters?
I've got a comment, it's just a thank you, particularly Christine and Susan for all the good work.
That's all. Yes. Any other urgent matters? Well, it ain't urgent, but William Shamir has been appointed to the Regional Commission for a public citizen. Thank you for jumping on that train for me. I needed some help, buddy.
Just want to thank Commissioner Todd for believing in me. I think I want to represent Madison County and you the best my abilities. I went to a meeting with Bert Walker.
Yeah.
Brother Walker. And, we talked about an hour, and so I got a meeting, and they're going to introduce me on August the 17th. So I'm just excited, and I want to appreciate you. He said you spoke very highly of me. I guess I got big when you told me that. So.
You know, there's 6 or 7 more citizens in here that's just dying to be on a board somewhere. Just raise your hand, we'll put you on the board. We have good citizens, seriously.
But I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir, for doing it.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Executive session to discuss real estate acquisition, personal matters, potential litigation.
Yep, sir. Everybody's happy.
Commissioner Dawson.
Move adjourned.
Motion carried. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank y'all for being here.
Susan, you got to go with 5 minutes.
I know. She'll be glad to show up.
After all
I heard readings on this every day. Pam, do you? Yeah. And I went on there.
I get permission.
Anything we can work together on? Let me know. Sometimes every once in a while.